All right, so not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, my buddy Zach and I were on a mixed surface ride, mostly gravel. Beautiful day, light winds, sunny. We're having a great freaking time. At one point, I stopped and shot an Instagram video where I was talking shit to Logan Paul.
I'll wrestle your ass and I'll whoop your ass.
And we're just having a good time. One of those rides, just perfect conditions, perfect day. So towards the end of the ride, mile 51 is what it was. We're headed back towards town. We're on a paved road. We've got a tailwind. We're going slightly downhill and we're hauling ass. We're going pretty fast. I'd say probably 25 to 28 miles per hour. When all of a sudden I see a massive, massive dog in front of me. It came out of like nowhere. So basically it happened like this. So we're going down the road. Zach is a little bit in front of me and I'm kind of behind him and more to the right of him. So this big dog, the house, it was out in the country. This house is pretty close to the road. So the dog got up pretty quick and ran into the roadway after Zach. If the dog would have just kept running off to the side of the road, I would have been fine. But the dog stopped right in the middle of the road. And we were going that fast and I didn't have time to brake. I didn't have time to swerve. I could just do nothing but hit the dog. Yes, before you ask, the dog is fine. I was in the drops and kind of absorbed the blow and the front tire hit the dog and I just went straight over the handlebars and landed directly on my shoulder. I knew instantly my shoulder was in bad shape. Instantly kind of started hurting. I've done this, I've wrecked like this tons on a mountain bike, but you're going like a fraction of the speed and you usually land on dirt. So I've probably gone over the bars 6 to 10 times on a mountain bike and been fine, but at these speeds, I knew that it was my AC joint. The lady that lived at the house, she was there with her daughter and with her dad, and she ran out into the road and she was very concerned. She was trying to help me. She helped me move my bike off to the side of the road, and I could tell that she was genuinely concerned for me. There was no ill will because she was so nice and because I'm in the country. There's dogs in the country. Even though this was a paved road, we were still in the country. So I call my girlfriend Kim, and Kim is like panicking. She's like, oh my gosh. I'm like, calm down. So she puts the rack on my truck. She comes and picks up me and Zach, and we instantly go to our friend Jenna's house. Jenna is a physician's assistant for an orthopedic surgeon, and we were like a mile from her house because she lives in the country. And so we get to Jenna's house, and she's looking at my shoulder, and she's like, yeah, that looks like it's a grade 3 AC separation. We need to get you in for an X-ray. So the next morning, she got me in first thing. Thank you, Jenna. You are a lifesaver. She got me in for the X-ray, and the X-ray looked really, really bad. Obvious separation. It did not look normal. So after the accident happened, Monday, I was pretty bummed out. I was really pretty emotional. I put a lot into cycling. I've got a lot of big things planned for this year. I was able to ride the trainer last week with a sling on. I did actually some really big rides with one arm, but that made me feel a little bit better. Like, okay, even if I am injured for a while and I have to have surgery, eventually I'll be able to ride the trainer. People were reaching out to me like, hey, if it's a grade 3, you want to have surgery. If it's a grade 3, it could heal, but maybe never be the same. So I was like, if it's a grade 3, let's get in and get surgery. So the sooner the better, Jenna, please. So she got me in for this past Monday to see the orthopedic surgeon. When he came into the room, he basically sat down and I told him about the accident, and he said initially it looked like a grade 3, but when he was looking at other angles of the X-ray, he could see that the bone, which is sticking up, not sure if you could see that, but he could see that obviously the bone is raised, but it was actually still a little bit touching the spot where it's supposed to connect. I'm not a doctor, but because it was still touching a little bit, that could heal. And there's two, I want to say they're ligaments. There's 2 ligaments where the bone attaches. One of those ligaments was torn, but the other one was still intact. So he said, because that one is still intact, he said, I think in 6 weeks, you don't even feel like this happened. So he said, this is more of a grade 2. That really lifted my spirits when he told me that this would heal. I'm going to do some light rehab. I've already got a bunch of range of motion back. I can't really go completely over my head, but there's some exercises I have that I can do. And basically, this is going to heal on its own, hopefully. I'm so happy that, it worked out like it did. Again, be careful in the country. Gravel roads, paved country roads, there is dogs. Normally I see the dogs coming and I'm able to pull out my water bottle and spray them if they get too close, or really just yell at them and they'll usually go away. But this dog came out of nowhere and I just didn't have time to react. I'm stoked to not be super hurt. I'm gonna be back on the bike. The surgeon said I can do road rides this weekend if I take it easy. So I am planning on getting back on the road and gravel bike, and then hopefully before too long back on the mountain bike, so I can keep bringing you guys content. There's a lot of stuff I have planned for the upcoming months, so if you have not already done so for some reason, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, all that good stuff, and you guys have a good one.
Come on, Birdie, come on. Come on, Birdo. Come on, Birdo. Come on, Birdo. Birdo, look at me.
Birdie.
Birdo.
Hey, Birdo. Birdo.